right, we are going to go ahead and start. Karen, if you could hear me, would you go ahead and send me a little chat note? Oh, maybe I am still on mute. Okay, Karen, can you hear me okay?
Hi, Linda. I can hear you just fine.
Thank you. All righty, so I am going to start by telling you a little bit about Advanced Volunteer Manager. Karen Kleiman, as I mentioned, is online, and she's going to take any questions that you may have, and she'll try to answer them or bring them to my attention if she's not able to answer them. So let's begin learning about Advanced Volunteer Manager. Advanced Volunteer Manager is an online platform that provides organizations with a secure single source portal for recruiting, managing, validating agency or event volunteers. In addition to the functionality you would expect in a volunteer management system, here are a few of the key items that differentiate our software. We give you the opportunity to reach volunteers outside of your current connections. Both volunteer managers and volunteers are able to manage their data. We have superior customer service, and we feel very strongly that we have a high level of service at a lower cost. Additional benefits, we have a single platform cloud-based system, so you can get all of your information in one spot. Data is private, secure, and you are always the owner of your data. We automate the volunteer process. Data entry is easy for both you, the volunteer manager, and the volunteer, and we meet HIPAA, WAY, and PRI compliance. AVM integrates with Tutorari. Tutorari is an online social network. Volunteers use Tutorari to find opportunities and sign up for opportunities and learn about nonprofit organizations. Through Tutorari, they can also create their own volunteer resume. When you create a volunteer position at Advanced Volunteer Manager, you can publicize it in Tutorari. And then volunteers not only that are associated with your organization, but who are friends of folks who are associated with your organization will be able to see your activities, as well as a volunteer could do a zip code search or an event search or a keyword search to find volunteer opportunities that meet their needs. Volunteers can create and update their profile in Tutorari. This includes adding important documents, applying for jobs, agreeing to jobs they've been assigned to. Volunteer managers can add the documents to volunteers, assign volunteers to jobs, add notes and other information to the volunteer profile. This gives the volunteer manager the power to directly manage and delegate updates to volunteers or do a combination of the two. Now let's take a look at some of the features in AVM. We match skills with needs, we pre-qualify volunteers, we verify credentials, use template or custom reports, online scheduling, and secure data document storage. Adding your organization to AVM is very simple, and we're just going to show you how simple it is by logging in right now. I'm just going to sign in. And you can see right here, up at the top are all of the groups that I'm associated with, but I would like to create a new group. So I'm going to just hit New Nonprofit. I just have to add the name of the group, a description. I can make this organization public or private. Private gives you the ability, let's say you're working with youth or an at-risk group and you don't want people to be able to find your organization and find volunteer opportunities, you can always select private. We're going to leave this one as public. You can click auto join, and that means anyone who wants to join your group will automatically join. If you do not click it, you have the right to approve them or deny them. If you are a 501c3 and can accept donations, you'll want to click this button right here. And if you offer services or discounts to the members of the military, go ahead and click this, and we have a separate section in Tutorari where folks in the military can look for nonprofits who might have services for them. You're just going to click Save. And your group is now complete. So this is, so there you can see my webinar group right here. Go back. So volunteer data. Let's talk about the volunteer data. Volunteers can create their own and update their own profile, or managers can also add volunteers into Advanced Volunteer Manager. Included in our system is a free volunteer upload. As long as you send it to us in a CSV file, we'll get that right in there for you, which then you're not losing old data that you have, and you can integrate the two together. Let's go ahead and review and see how easy this is. So for the volunteer manager, adding a volunteer through AVM, this is the screen that you would get, and all you need is a first name, last name, and email. So really fast and quick way to keep track of somebody. Maybe they're not going to be a lifer volunteer, but they showed up and they're picking up garbage and you want to capture that information. One of the really nice things about our system is it does do a matching based on email. So perhaps Christine, who you know as Tina, has volunteered in the past, and she sends you an email that says Christine wants to sign up for beach cleanup. When you enter in her email address, it's going to recognize her and it's going to change the profile to Tina because it has that smart logic. If a volunteer wants to join and enter their data themselves, all they need to do in Tutidari is username, email, and password. So again, we're keeping it as simple as we possibly can. Of course, we'd love to capture more information, and the more information they provide, the easier it is for them to search opportunities. Adding a job in Advanced Volunteer Manager. We can create jobs that identify requirements needed to participate in that job, connect jobs to activities, and match volunteers based on the requirements. In AVM, when we create a job, we can, as I mentioned, add requirements. So for runner, golf cart, and driver, we can give it different types of codes, description for the actual job, and then any qualifications that they need. So we're saying to be a golf cart driver, you need to have auto insurance and a driver's license on file. Activity management. You can create an activity and add jobs that you've defined. This will allow you to match volunteers based on requirements you have set up. You can also publicize your activity in Tutidari, so any volunteer can find your open positions. Let's go ahead and play in the activity section. And for security purposes, it does log us out because we've been out of the system for a certain period of time. So forgive me while I re-log in. So here we go. We are at Run for Education. As you can see here, we have the information about the event, what it's called, a description, date and times, address, zip code, if it's an active event or a closed event. And of course, we click to publicize Tutidari because we need a lot of volunteers and we want to grow our pool. At this moment, Karen K is our manager. That's who we're logged in as. But we can create another volunteer owner or manager like myself. So now I have the ability to get involved and help schedule and do different manager activities. You can also save this event as a template. Let's say every Saturday you do a donation pickup in the neighborhood where you drive around and pick up clothes that have been donated. If you save this as a template, you're not going to have to recreate the description, the address, and the meeting place each time. So you can see here that we have a variety of jobs assigned to this activity, event manager, race day coordinator. All of these jobs have different requirements and qualifications. So if you look here, event manager, we need one, we have 0 that are qualified. A manager is able to override a qualified or unqualified volunteer. Here at Silent Auction Coordinator, we need one, have one, and 1 volunteer is qualified. So let's go down to runner and golf cart driver because we already looked at that job. Let me click assign, and I'm going to show you our smart matching ability. So Linda, I've been invited to participate in this, but let's say we want to see who else could work this event. I just put my cursor in the box, and it shows my volunteers that are already associated with my group, and you can see here who's qualified, who's partially qualified, and who's unqualified. So if I went ahead and scheduled Marla right now because she's partially qualified, she's going to get an email through Tutadari that tells her what she's missing. But I'm just going to go ahead and send Karen to this job. I'm going to go ahead and sign her up. And you're going to see in just 1 second that it shows that now she is waiting for an invitation as well. So managing your volunteers, we just went over assigning volunteers, matching requirements, communicating with your volunteers. They get automatic emails. And I'm going to go back right here. And I just want to go over a little bit more on communication here. You have a variety of ways to communicate with your volunteers. On the job page, you might have seen the little email template where you could just send an email right there. From here, I can send just a personal email. It's going to do smart logic here in a second. And I'm going to send it to myself, and it's going to say, see you tomorrow. Don't forget a hat. So this is just a personal email that I'm sending off to Linda. But I also have the capability of using global templates, creating a template. Let's say you have an automatic reminder that you want to give to your volunteers before they show up for a shift. Remember to bring sunscreen, a hat. You can set that up in the custom templates. And if we go to the sent folder, you can see what emails have already been sent. I am now going to show you the volunteers. Oh, and it logged me out. Let me log back in. So here are all the volunteers that are associated with my organization, and we can see we're gonna look at Karen since she's here online right now. So you can see on Karen's profile we have all of her important information. We have her additional facts and figures that we've put in. Perhaps you always have your volunteers wear a t-shirt. You can pre-program her t-shirt size. Right here, we're gonna make her a medium. If she is a vegetarian, I'm always gonna know that. But at the top here, you can see all the jobs that we have associated with Karen and which ones she's qualified and unqualified for. So that's really exciting. Right here in documents, you can see all of her documents. So her auto insurance is on file and her driver's license is on file. I can either view the document, upload a document, or remove that document for her. So I'm going to go back to the home page right now and show you when you log in each day, you want to get an idea of what's going on in your world. I will admittedly confess that when I used to manage a large group of volunteers at an organization, I might not be the best person at remembering names, and it would have been so helpful for me to check my today list and know that Valerie is working as a receptionist. So instead of just saying, hi, I could say, hi, Valerie, when I walked by her. Because when you're managing a lot of volunteers, sometimes you just don't remember who exactly is working. Here's where your volunteers are communicating with you as well. So you can see here we have a new document waiting. So remember my volunteer that was only partially qualified and she was sent a message that she owes us one more document? Well, it appears Karen owed us a document. I'm going to go to edit. I can either view it, download it straight to my computer, or if I approve it, it's going to go straight into Karen's profile, and I don't have to do anything with it. So let me go back to home. So again, when you first log in at the beginning of the day, you're going to see all of your volunteers that are working today. Now we still have 2 users. So 2 people found us on Tutadari, and they want to be a part of our organization. So here I can see, oh, I think I really want Jane to be involved, and both of these folks look great, so I'm just going to hit approve all. I'm going to jump back here. So we got the volunteer recognition. So this is Tutidari. We've been talking about Tutidari. This is the site that your volunteers are logging into, and this is what they're going to see. This is their profile on Tutidari, and you can see when they log in, they too have a messages waiting area. So from right here, they can see that they have requirements waiting them, and they have a job request waiting for them. This is where they can search for events, search for jobs, search for organizations, all through Tutidari. So remember, Karen needed to turn in some documentation. If she clicks the requirements button, this is what she sees. And if she doesn't remember being involved with Race Day Volunteer Coordinator, she can just click this. It'll give her a description, reminds her what group the job is with, and what she needs. Without even leaving this page, she's able to upload her document to move it along. And this is an example of when Karen is invited to a volunteer opportunity. This is what she's going to see. She's going to see the name of the event, the description of the event, what type of volunteers they're looking for. If she wants more detailed information, she can go to the View button. If she wants to accept it, she is available. She would just click Accept, and if she's not available, she's going to click Reject, and the volunteer manager will be notified. Reporting. There's no point in tracking all of our volunteers if we can't put their information into reports and prove to the board and prove to all the powers that be that we've got great volunteer teams supporting us. So I just want to show you a few examples of some volunteer reports that are already pre-programmed into the system. And I'm just going to jump over, see if anybody's still logged in. Here we go. Reports. Oh, nope, log me out again. So again, we're on the reports page, and I am a stickler for I want my volunteers to sign in. That's always really important to me. So I'm going to go ahead and click volunteer, and I'm going to click attendance sheet. Boom. This is already pre-formatted to print, ready to go, has their name, have a sign in. But all of our reports also have the Excel feature. So if you just want this data, you can always pull it out. One click of a button, you've got it in an Excel spreadsheet. And it's ready to rock and roll. So maybe you want to add some different notes or things to your report. Another, I think, positive, fun one that's already pre-programmed is name badges. These are formatted to an Avery label. They print your agency logo, name of the volunteer, and the name volunteer. It's so important these days to have our volunteers acknowledged as they're walking around our facilities. And let me see, we did that. Coming soon, we're really excited that we currently, of course, you can go on your mobile device, your iPad or your phone and use the system, but we will have a mobile application coming in the very near future. Integrated background checks. Background checks are all the talk in the volunteer world these days. Our system will integrate the background check. The request goes into Assurant, and the documentation hyperlink comes back into our system. We do not hold the information. We leave that up to the professionals, and that's Assurant, not us. We don't want to be in the background check business. Moodle, I'm not sure if you've heard of Moodle, but Moodle is a way to do online training. As an example, for my son's Boy Scout troop, I have to watch a child safety video every year. So you could actually upload a video about, let's say, driver safety and assign that to the golf cart driver. So in addition to needing a driver's license and insurance, you may need to have them watch a video. Once they complete watching the video through the system, it will mark as the requirements as completed, which is fabulous and a lot less paperwork. Just want to highlight how our customer service works. We have online help pages and support, email support, and tracking of features and requests. We want this to be your system, so when you see things that you want added, we want to hear from you as soon as possible because we want to make this the system that's best for you, our clients. Coming soon, we're going to be having some user groups, some town hall meetings, so that we can really, again, help mold the system to what the world of nonprofits need and not what we think the world needs. Pricing, I think you will find our pricing extremely competitive. We do not charge for archived records. We do not charge for additional managers. Background check rates and custom reports, we bid those out separately, but the bigger the package you purchase into, the less your background checks will be. Currently, there is a free trial running through September 1st where you can use all of the functionality, and just a reminder, you always own all of your data. After September 1st, the free version will be limited to 50 volunteers and you will not have qualification matching. I've shown you how AVM lets you reach your volunteers inside and out of your network, how volunteer data can be managed by a manager or a volunteer, or a combination of the two. I've given you some examples of the way in which we support you and the value in our pricing. I'm going to invite you to log in and try out the system. Send us emails. I'm giving you my personal email, my phone number. We'd love for you to just go into avmapp.com. Right here under username, not yet registered, just give that a click and we can open an account for you. We're very excited about the system and the feedback that we're getting, and we'd love to have you utilizing our system. And I closed my conversation box, so I don't know if I missed any questions or comments, so I'm going to shout out to Karen to type me a message if there was anything that I missed that the group wants to hear about. In Karen's silence, I'm going to say that between the two of us, we managed to answer all of the questions. Again, my name is Linda, and I can be reached at linda@dare-llc.com. If you need anything answered or just have questions or thoughts or want a personal run-through, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. And I hope you all have a great Wednesday. Thank you for joining us today.